just give us the...
You good?
I'm okay.
Okay. You've had a couple days.
Could you give us an update on Trevor?
Still in the protocol, progressing well, but we have to follow the steps, so we can't skip anything. So still in, yeah.
How about Zay?
Zay is getting better. Strength is good, but still week to week.
We didn't ask about the other guys, Tyson, Cisco, and then I think you said Ezra and Walker were good.
Yeah, they came out of the game sore, but they came out fine. They're fine. Both Tyson and Cisco will practice today. You know, get them back out there. So hopefully, you know, they continue to progress, and you know, we'll see where they're at.
And was everybody else able to get out of the game clean?
Yes, running backs were good. Jamal was good. The O linemen were good. Zay was probably the only one, and then Trevor. Yeah.
Hey Doug, I was looking at the stats, and the percentage of scoring touchdowns in a red zone is actually you're the same rank in the NFL as last year, about the middle of the pack, and the percentage isn't much different. So I guess there's a perception that it's been worse in the red zone, but it actually isn't. But it's still, you know, what makes you happy? I mean, a scoring every time, I guess, is what you want. But is there a certain percentage you shoot for, or that you think is adequate?
Well, 100% would be great, but you know, realistically, you'd love to be, you know, 80+% and you get in the red zone. I mean, that's, you know, and that's probably high, but you know, our goal is to score touchdowns in the red zone, you know, each week. If you can come away with 3, obviously that's good too. But our biggest issues have been the turnovers. You know, down there. That's the thing that's kept us, I think, from having a little bit better, you know, scoring percentage, you know, this year.
Do you think it's the fact that the turnovers are kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit too memorable, like Trevor just dropping the ball? You know, is it they've really been painful?
Any turnover is painful, but especially down there. You know, when you have a little drive going and you're at the 20-yard line, you know, going in, they're all painful.
Sorry.
How much a fine is that? What's the fine? Repeat offender, does it increase?
Hey Doug, is navigating the protocol with the quarterback tougher than dealing with the knee and the ankle? Because I'm assuming you can't give him game plan stuff to look at and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah, you got to follow the steps, you know, and it's really based on symptoms, you know, and how he feels. If he can sit in a meeting and tolerate a meeting, it's okay. If not, then we don't put him in there, you know, because you're stimulating the brain, right? So it's just based on symptoms. But like if it's his knee or his ankle, he's in those meetings and he's, you know, he's getting the game plan and he's listening and all of that. So you just got to do it really case by case.
Can you tell us where his symptoms are? Can he be in?
I can't disclose
Okay.
head injuries
Okay.
and where people are.
So does it make it a tougher call if, like, say he comes out on Friday or Saturday, clears the protocol about whether you play him or not, just because of he hasn't, you know, been able to practice?
I mean, yeah, it's a tough decision. The number one thing is making sure that he's 100% and he has been cleared, you know, by all the specialists, and then you have to make a decision as a team, you know, and see where he's at too, you know. But it definitely, you know, makes it harder, I guess.
You only can test him once a day, right?
Correct.
What's been the biggest culprit in your mind about why the running game has kind of come close to disappearing here the last 4 games?
I think one of probably the one that sticks out is just the lack of consistent players, meaning the same guys in the same positions for the whole season. You know, same left guard, same left tackle, center guard, you know, that whole thing. There's so much timing that goes on up front, and you know, now we've introduced a new player, right, with Ezra, you know, to our scheme. Not a rookie, but a veteran player, but new to our scheme. And Walker's playing guard. He's been tackle, and he's bounced around, and it's hard for those guys to. It's kind of hard to get in a rhythm, right? So I think that's where it starts, there. And then secondly is just I think our ability to finish blocks and sustain blocks, where we're and look, it's been no shortage of good defensive fronts either. So we're playing some good teams, but it's no excuse for us not to continue to sustain and move people, right? And our guys take pride in doing that. And then the other element too is, the running backs, making sure that we detail with them and anticipate where this hole should be on this particular run, where it may go, and then some of it too. There's advantage type throws. There's throws where the quarterback can pick it up and throw it. You've seen those lateral throws. Well, those are runs that he has the opportunity to, and so those go down sometimes as passes, but that's really a run, and we haven't been real good, especially the last couple weeks in some of that.
How much more of a burden is it on Trevor when you can't get the running game? When it's
I think
carries
it's
for 70 yards or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, because it takes away a little bit from your play action, some of the movement stuff you want to do, screen game. But look, it's something we got to continue to work at. We got to continue to get better. If I've said this before, we can keep going back to some of the concepts that have been successful for us. We do that, just so that our guys can not think about a lot of things and just go play.
When you're in the middle of a 3-game slide like you are right now, is there something to sometimes you just need a spark to kind of snap out of it, get back on the right track?
Yeah, it's figuring out, how to win a game right now. And, it's, everybody has to pay attention to their job and just do what they've been asked to do. Coaches, players, we try to keep it simple so they can play and play fast. Somewhere somebody, make a play like last week, Jank gets the interception, but we don't capitalize as an offense type thing, so it's we don't go searching for them, but we need to make the ones that show up and present themselves, and sometimes it may not be pretty, but if you can figure out a way to get it done, it helps you.
Okay.
What have you thought about Baker Mayfield this year?
I thought he's playing really well, and he's gotten better as the season's gone on. Some of his, statistical numbers, he's getting the ball out of his hand extremely fast. It does slow down pass rush when you can do that, especially in the third and short, medium range, and he's trusting his guys, down the field, and they're making plays for him. So, and he's not turning the ball over, So all those things are in his favor, and they're helping, and he's playing good.
Is it okay to feel desperate at this point, or is it too soon for that?
I don't know if you ever want to feel desperate. I think you got to feel a sense of urgency. I think you got to feel a sense of, it's kind of like maybe your back's against the wall a little bit, and it's time to go play. But I don't think you ever want to be desperate, because then you do things out of character.
So what's the word you use with the team?
That's my
Sense of
word with them. Yeah, I won't tell you, but
The challenges that you guys are having right now, is it more of a mental thing then, or physical?
it's a little of both. It's a physical game, and you're going to get beat. I mean, it's football. You're going to get beat from time to time. I think it's the mental, from the standpoint of just understanding your role, understanding your job. We know every offensive player out there, skill position guy, they know they're not supposed to turn the ball over. I mean, that's duh, right? That's to us, that's the most prized possession on the field is the football. So we know that. So it's a little more concentration, it's a little more focus, it's a little more attention to detail when you're in traffic, when you're out in space, the ball security, to where it becomes kind of second nature, for our guys. But the physical part of it, guys are going to get beat. It happens. They make plays. We're going to make plays. It's just the kind of the ebb and flow of a game.
Is it hard to snap out of a slide like this one 3 games in where you're trying to figure out how to win games? How difficult is that?
I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, there's been times where, okay, go back to the Cincinnati game. We had a chance to win that game. We didn't, but we had a chance to win it, right? With a kick late in the game, and then a kick to win the game type thing. Cleveland, 4 turnovers. In that game, miscommunication. Gave up some explosives offensively. By them. And then this past week, same thing. I thought, but in each game, you see a lot of good things happen, but it's the sort of the negatives that are maximized. Those are the glaring issues, right? And that's what's kept us from, I think, feeling better, about ourselves, at this stage. But again, it's a mentality, it's a mindset that, hey, sometimes enough's enough, and you just got to take pride in the opportunities you get.
You're worried about the confidence of the team?
No.
Is there any advantage to you to declare C.J. Beathard the starter this week, early in the week? I mean, when you consider that it's a concussion and you might not know, going all the way till game day, and the way that Trevor performed in Cleveland after missing a week on the practice field, is there any advantage to just getting your team mentally ready for the fact that maybe Trevor's not going to be ready this week?
Well, I think there's an advantage to CJ if you came out and said he's the guy, but you always leave the door open for the chance that Trevor clears, and listen, and this has nothing to do with CJ or the backup quarterbacks, but you want your starter to play. I mean, especially at the quarterback position, right? I mean, I think that's a given, but at the same time, I think internally, you prepare, and CJ does a great job of preparation. He knows the situation. It's the life of a backup. Spent 8 years behind a guy that you never knew. He gets hurt, but he always bounced back and seemed to play the next week. So I get it. I mean, and it's tough, but the guys know, I think, and they prepare no differently.
Coach, it's been the next man up mentality. Who on the O-line has really surprised you and just taken off in stride?
I'll say that, 2 guys really kind of stick out. One is Anton, as a rookie right tackle. He's faced a lot of great defensive ends this year, and he's gotten better each week. And each week he settles in, and it's probably the most football he's played in a long time. Going back to his college days, and he's done a nice job as a rookie. And settled in. I think the other one coming in and a new player is Ezra. I think he's really embraced the opportunity. Now he's playing a little bit hurt, but he's really done a nice job for us, and has shown that he's very capable of stepping in and filling in at that spot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
Appreciate it.